did you realize like who you were, like as far as like being Filipino? Were you able to embrace both ethnicities growing up and understood that?
Honestly, being a mixed girl was just hella confusing for me. It was like the Filipino girls were like, "You ain't Filipino. Look at your hair. It's too curly."
Girl,
The
they would say
black
that to
girls
me.
was like, "Oh, you too light. You ain't black."
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I was kind of like disowned from
Both
both
sides.
sides.
Yeah.
So I never felt like I belonged anywhere except for like my family. So like when people talk about pretty privilege or mixed girl privilege or whatever you want to call it, like I didn't experience those things. I actually had like a negative
Connotation, like feeling.
connotation and experiences because I was what I am.
Yeah.
But it honestly made me a stronger person, and it also like made me see the other side, you know, of the perspective. Because I'm like, why am I being treated this way?
I feel like not enough girls talk about that, because even within our own community, like I wasn't Puerto Rican enough because my hair texture didn't look like theirs, or I wasn't as light as them, or with even the African American side, they're like, oh, you got good hair, or you talk white. I feel like that's a real conversation. Like just growing up, I was so confused, but now seeing girls with big curly hair, I'm just like, oh, okay, I wish I had that representation.
Hey ladies, welcome back to my channel. It's your host London Lamborghini, and in today's video we have a wonderful compilation of many different TikTokers, and I would like to thank the one and only Exoticals United. She is an exotical channel focused on celebrating and educating the diverse backgrounds of multiracial and some monoracial exotical looking women. She has been on YouTube for about 2.5 years now, so if you don't know what an exotical is, or if you think you might be one, go to her channel, look through her videos. They have some great psychological breakdowns about pretty privilege. But without saying anything more, let's get into this video.
I'm mixed. Of course my mom named me Brittany.
I'm mixed. Of course everyone thinks I get my booty from my black side, but it's actually my mommy.
I'm mixed. Of course everybody is shook when they see that my mom is a blonde beauty with green eyes.
I'm mixed. Of course everyone thinks I'm a Dominican or Puerto Rican mommy, but I'm not.
I'm mixed. Of course my black friends call me white and my white friends call me black.
I'm mixed. Of course everybody asks me, what are you?
I'm mixed. Of course everybody thinks I'm adopted.
I'm mixed. Of course part of my family is racist, kinda, sorta.
I'm mixed. Of course everybody thinks I've never experienced racism.
Mixed. Of course
everybody walks up to us saying, hola, ¿cómo estás? Ay, qué linda, pero like, we're white and we're black. We're not Spanish. I'm sorry. We're mixed. Of course everybody can't believe that we're sisters.
and they like to pull on our hair and touch it, biddies. Forget you. We don't like you.
We're mixed. Of course everybody thinks our hair is fake and asks to touch it.
Exactly.
And the answer is no.
No.
Unless you're
Thank
cute.
You. Yes.
Or nice and you ask nicely.
Please.
Thank you.
Put a finger down, mixed kid edition. Put a finger down if you've ever wished you were white. Put a finger down if you used to think straight hair was better, so you straightened your hair every day. Put a finger down if you've ever felt not black enough or not white enough. Put a finger down if you've ever been told you look exotic. Put a finger down if you've ever been asked, are you adopted? Put a finger down if you've ever been named Jaden. Put a finger down if you learned how to do your curly hair through YouTube tutorials. Put a finger down if your white family members have ever been racially insensitive. Put a finger down if people think you don't care if they say the N-word because you're only half black. Put a finger down if you've ever been told you're cute because you're mixed. Put a finger down if you used to have a mental breakdown every time your white parent tried to do your hair. Put a finger down if you've ever been asked, then what are you? Put a finger down if you've been told you talk white. Put a finger down if despite all of this, you've still learned to love exactly who you are.
So most likely at least one of your grandparents is like low-key racist. People are gonna try to assign all your actions to one race or the other, and you might have like a tiny identity crisis, you know. Oh, and people are definitely gonna ask you, what are you? But hey, you get to fill out more than one bubble on the Scantron, so yeah.
Genuinely curious if anybody else who was mixed had a similar experience with their mother growing up. To give you a little background, my father is African American and my mother is Mexican. They were married and together my entire childhood, teenagehood, all that. Throughout my childhood, I recall my mom constantly just like shitting on black women for no reason. Why at 7 years old are you ranting to me about how black women have been jealous of you your entire life? They're just mad that I took one of their men. They've always been super jealous of my hair. Ma'am, you have thin, straight hair that you have to go and sit in a chair for 3 hours to get some fake chemical curls. Obviously, not all black people have curly hair. You can be black and have straight hair naturally. Are you saying people are jealous of something that you don't even have? In the grocery store, and you would hear somebody being a little bit louder a couple aisles over, and she would say stuff like, I bet they're black. She used to babysit for this black couple, and every single time the mother would come and pick up their son and then leave, my mom would make comments like, I bet she's a stripper hoe. Just because this woman had a nice body, a nice car, like just nice everything. She was a bad bitch. Anytime I would talk back, she would say, oh, that's the black in you. Like what? Months at a time, she would ship me over to Virginia, and then when I would ask like, Mom, why aren't you coming with me? She would say things like, I can't be around people like that. They give me anxiety. Oh, but when you do show your face, it's all smiles. Hello, everybody. I just don't get it. Like, how did you have children with a black man, but you're constantly talking bad about people? The way I was supposed to be doing my makeup this entire time, but no, girl, I gotta get that off my chest. I really don't get it.
Tell me you have a white mom without telling me you have a white mom.
I'm mixed, half black, half white, and I have very, very curly hair. It's not done now, but here's a photo of me where I look much better. But growing up, my mom just had no idea what to do with my hair, and so here are a few of my school photos to show you. So the first hairstyle that we have is putting my hair into pigtails and then adding smaller braids because my hair was just too thick to just have a normal pigtail style. The next one would be putting my hair up in a bun and doing one of these weird like hair pieces because my hair was just too hard to control that I had to use fake hair. But the best one of all... Guys, I have curly hair. It's not meant to be straightened, and she let me go to school picture day looking like a rectangle. So, Mom, you tried your best. You tried your best.
So for my undergraduate dissertation, I conducted qualitative social research into mixed race identities and mixed race identity politics. My motivation behind this was my own personal experience, really. Growing up, I didn't realise it at the time, but as I've got older, I kind of recognised that I did somewhat feel like a bit of an outsider with my racial identity. One thing that I found in my research is that this feeling of like alienation and not really knowing where you fit in is quite a common experience for a lot of mixed race people, and a lot of that is due to the fact that we really do live in a society of binaries, you know, black and white, gay and straight, all of these things. And if you're someone whose identity is in the middle, you can often feel forgotten about or maybe pressures to choose a side to identify more closely with. I think one thing for me growing up is having either side of my family not looking anything like me. I literally have a whole white side and a whole black side of my family, and this extends beyond just skin colour. It's a whole different cultural experience, and I think quite often it's hard to navigate that. From the discussions I was having with my participants in my research, there was this strong feeling of you're not white enough to be white, but you're not black enough to be black. What does it mean to be mixed race? What is the mixed race identity? What is it? Like, what am I? And I say all this to say, I made a video a few months ago actually about mixed race identities and my own experience, and I had quite a few people reach out, which was really lovely. And I definitely want to talk more on this topic as time goes on. I really want to just educate a little bit more because I feel like it's something that hasn't really been spoken about as often. It's not something you really hear about as much when we have these discussions of race and racial identity. And it's just to let other mixed race people know that you're not alone in your experience. In all of the participants that I interviewed and conducted research with, they all felt this similar feeling of not really knowing where you belong, not really knowing where you fit in. And this is rooted in so many things, and I really do intend to talk more about this. But yeah, I hope that people can find comfort in knowing that they're not alone in their experience, and it's a very common feeling.
don't think I've ever heard it being talked about, but let's talk about it. I don't think I've heard anyone talk about how hard it is being the only biracial person in your family. So on my mama's side, I'm the only biracial person. I'm the only half black, part black, corner black person there is. So if you know, then you know, and if you don't, then we can talk about it. Anyways, so here recently it's been brought to my attention that one of my family members feels the need that, or feels like they can use the N-word with the hard ER. Mind you, this person is completely 100% Caucasian, white, whatever you want to call it. And it just totally grosses me out. It disgusts me that they feel like they have the ability to reference a black person utilizing the N-word regardless of the situation. I feel like if you're gonna call somebody the N-word, you wanted to call them that. You want to refer to all of us like that, and that just disgusts me. It makes me feel so disgusted to be associated with anybody that feels like they can talk like that. And that is why I've chosen not to associate myself with this person. Do I owe them an explanation? No, because you knew better. You're grown. You knew better. That is so mind-blowing that anyone would feel like they have the ability to utilize this word regardless of the situation. Like, I feel like if you use that word, that's what you wanted to say. That's what you want to reference us as. And that's just gross. And a lot of people will be like, oh, you're half white. I'm black. My birth certificate say I am black. I am proud to be black. I have children who have even more African American in them. That is so gross. Like, that boils my blood that they feel that they can talk like that. I don't know. Is it just my, like, we're from a small town, so like, is it just my family, or like, do anybody else feel like this? Does it get to other people like this, or is it just me?
Thank you so much for staying until the end of the video. Thank you to all the new subscribers. I love each and every one of you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, why not? It's free 99. So see you in the next video. I post daily on here, and thanks for watching.